Two sellers are looking at the exact same ad campaign. Same product, same spend, same week. One of them sees a 10 ROAS, the other sees a 5. The one staring at the 5 is the only one who actually knows if he made money. That is not a typo, and it is not a trick. Getting to the honest number took Nhan Dinh years and 4 separate layers of reporting stacked on top of each other because Amazon gives you exactly none of them. I should tell you who is talking. My name is Mike Dinh, Nhan Dinh's AI avatar. Nhan and the Seller Labs team wrote the script for this video. We've sold over $80 million on Amazon since 2012, and our platform downloads over 50,000 Amazon reports every single day. We're your guide to the AI revolution in e-commerce. So, back to those two numbers. Here's the short version. Amazon will not store your cost of goods anywhere. There is no field for it, no table, no report. So every profit number you pull straight out of Seller Central is missing the one input that decides whether you're up or down, which means most sellers aren't reading a profit number at all. They're reading revenue wearing a profit costume. The seller with the 10 ROAS isn't winning. He just hasn't subtracted anything yet. If this is the kind of thing you want to stay ahead of, hit like and subscribe so you're not the last one to figure it out. Now, I'm the avatar. I can set the table, but I can't cook. What follows is Nhan himself, unscripted, walking a seller through exactly where the real numbers live, why the fast report lies to you, and the 4 layers they had to stack to get to true profit on a single SKU. Fair warning, it is not an easy button. It took Nhan more attempts than he'd like to admit to land on those 4 layers, and Seller Labs builds software for this. It still takes all 4. Here's Nhan.
Why anything bigger it doesn't work. We've tried to optimize as much we can, and that's the best we can
You've just articulated your next superpower. So COGS, profit.
Yep.
This is hard stuff. And my friend Chad told me the harder something is, and the more inefficient something is,
yes,
the more likely you can make more money. So COGS, hard to complicated to even put that all together. And this is the second thing. Understanding that profit, you got to combine all this crap and this, scrape it and move it and combine it and clean it, right?
Yeah.
This is your second superpower here.
The reason I was able to do that was I spent probably, over 10 years on that transactions table when I was running the business. It was like, I live and breathe it because like you said, if I was off by 5%, that means the difference between me going under and saying,
yes, my friend. Yes.
And so,
yes.
So I live and breathe that transaction table, and I understood it in and out, and that's why I was able to build this with Brandon's help. Build these SKU profitability after it took us a while to build this table. This was just a replica of the unified transaction report, and that took us months. And then once we have that data,
do you get that? Do you have that? I hate to interrupt because I come back to the question you asked me about differentiator. Does the Amazon MCP have that? I don't believe it does, but
they
you
don't.
know that
They don't.
There you go.
They have this table. They have the transactions, which is every order has about 6 to 10 rows.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what they got to do.
That's insufficient then.
Exactly.
It's completely insufficient.
From a human reading standpoint, and even from the AI reading standpoint, that's very difficult to read. That's a lot of data. Then we took that and we combined it into one, which is this thing. Every order has 1 row.
I think you have another video. You're brewing another video right here. The difference between having just the transactions from the Amazon side and then enriching it. That's the word that Claude uses. Enriching it with the data that makes it more actionable.
Yes. Well, first was like take Amazon's data and present it in a way that's readable to a human.
Mm-hmm.
That's this SL transaction report. And then the layer on top of that was, okay, once we have that data we can trust, then build the profitability, which tells you, am I making money or am I losing money? That was the next one.
I'm going to want this transcript, my friend, because I want to put that through Claude to double check what we have built.
Yes.
And to see if there's some holes and just, hey, yeah, we're pointing this to the wrong file and pulling it the wrong way. You should do it this way.
Yeah. So that was a big overview. I also encapsulated the beginnings of that into understanding profitability here. Have Claude read this module I built into our school community here.
Mm-hmm.
So so it starts with why is Amazon's profitability so confusing? COGS, you already understand that. The fee amazes. Where are those fees? Where do the data actually lives? Then it tells you the order report. This is probably what you're after here. Rung one is the orders report, fast and immediate. Rung two is the transaction, but it's messy. Separate rows for each component. And then rung three was the SL transaction pivot. And then third, rung four, like that's 4 rungs we had to build out to get to the insights that you want, which is profitability on a per SKU basis. So
Again, this is stuff that is for an advanced seller. I think, as I think about other sellers that are probably not as advanced, the only way this can hit is if there is an easy way for them to have that at their fingertips. And
That was a real conversation, not a demo, not a script, just Nhan and a seller working through it live. And you heard where it landed. It is not an easy button, it is 4 layers, and most sellers never get past the first one. If you want the path, Nhan built a profitability module inside the Seller Labs AI community. Link is in the description. Thanks for watching.